Hello there, everyone. It is Erasthamus Gaming here with my good friend Schady.
Hi,
Yep, and
Schady.
right now we're gonna go over the pickups and drops for the Week 2 transfer window, and we're gonna be doing it in order from first pick to last pick. We're gonna be analyzing what they dropped, what they picked up, and how that will ultimately affect the team. So, starting off, we're gonna start off with Jack the Don Fanatic. He ended up dropping Umbreon and picking up Aromatisse, which is I actually like this. I actually like that he dropped Umbreon.
Yeah, I think Oromatisse is a pretty solid pick, because Umbreon is really not that good of a Pokemon in this in the first place, because special attackers can just set up on it if they want to.
Yeah,
And Oromatisse gives him a Trick Room option if he somehow
really
manages
needs
to
it.
pull it off.
That and Umbreon is fairly predictable. It's fairly
Exactly.
predictable, and even physical attackers can get by it pretty well, even though it has access to things like foul play. And then Synchronize is okay as well, but ultimately I feel that Aromatisse is a lot better. Aromatisse has comparable bulk, and I think ultimately it was a good choice, even though
Yeah.
you're losing out on like what 110, 130 bulk.
Way too much bulk. Let's put it like that.
You also,
And
yeah,
Oromatisse also has the better ability. He just can't get taunted, which Umbreon is very vulnerable to. So
exactly.
that's that.
It's also a better typing, especially looking at Don's team. Is you got
Yeah.
a bunch of things weak to fighting coverage moves, i.e. you get you get a fighting type mon, more than likely they get knockoff
Knockoff.
coverage, and
Yeah.
then the combination of knockoff plus fighting stab kind of does well against his team. Like, more than likely I'm pretty sure every single fighting type in the game gets some kind of rock type coverage, which is enough to take care of basically his entire team, save for the Raikou and Tangrowth. And
Yeah.
depending on him only, depending on what is 1v1ing his team.
Yeah, Money doesn't take a hit, so that's that on the
Exactly.
physical side.
So yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, that was a pretty good pick. I like this pick.
yeah, definitely.
All right, moving
He also
on.
doesn't lose anything in like heal bell and stuff. He has
Yep,
aromatherapy. He still has wish, so
yep,
you know,
yep.
no drawbacks.
Exactly. Next up we go to Tito's, head coach of what's his face, the
Well,
Sport
from
Lisbon.
Benfica,
Yeah. So Tito Station dropped Livani and picked up Tornadus T. Um,
it's arguably one of the best decisions he or everyone made in this transfer window. Just because Livani is very predictable, very limited, and Tornado Theron is just such a good Pokemon, and Sticky Web isn't all that great because you can see it coming, and pretty much everyone has a good Defogger or Rapid Spinner,
exactly.
and
Um,
Tornado Theron just helps them.
yeah. The fact that you get base 100 attack, base 110 special attack, and base 121 speed, plus regenerator means that not only can you make it really bulky, you can make it really offensive. It's got a pretty good physical move pool. It's got a pretty good special move pool. It gets access to things like knockoff and sub and taunt. Just a lot, and tailwind even. It just has
Yeah,
a lot of utility. It's a really, really, really strong mon, and honestly, it's actually kind of terrifying to look at once you realize that actually made his team a hell of a lot stronger.
yeah. I faced him week 1, and as you saw, he has big ground weakness, which I explore with my Landos, and this just gives him another immunity, which granted it doesn't help with the Edgequake coverage, but still it's an immunity, which is nice, and it can be fairly bulky if he wants to.
Exactly.
So
So,
overall, an amazing pick,
yeah.
and good job.
Next up, there was Nick, formerly of the Orlando City Cabalions. He's since left to continue on with the GBA people. He ultimately felt closer with those people, so we hope Nick's doing well with his
Yeah.
GBA endeavors. But
Yep.
Nick actually didn't drop anything. He just picked up Armaldo, which I'm
I
not.
don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't see
Like,
anything wrong with it. I don't see anything good with it. It's just another Swift Swim user. It's got rapid spin. It's pretty fat. I'm gonna shamelessly look it up because I actually didn't know what Armaldo really did for him. Rock Bug is kind of an interesting typing,
I
but
mean, yeah, it's a really powerful mon. with 125 base attack, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And it's fairly slow, but with rain it can outspeed a couple things and do a lot of damage. It has amazing coverage. It gets Sword Stance, gets Stone Edge, Axes, of course, Earthquake,
It gets Home
Knockoff.
Claws, so it can run less accurate moves without fear.
Yeah, and it gives him another priority user with Aqua Jet, which is of course unstep, but in rain it's pretty powerful.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a bad pick. It wasn't a pick that was immediately obvious, but it's nowhere near a bad pick.
Yeah, I think it's solid.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
All right, who is next? There's Troy of the Wakambi Wanderers. He ended up dropping Jolteon and picked up Slurpuff. When I first saw this, I was like, no, no. I was extremely upset because Jolteon, while being extremely fast, and having decent enough special attack, it's extremely frail, it's extremely predictable, and it can be easily played around. The fact that he picked up Slurpuff not only gives him a terrifying belly drum sweeper, you can also run a Calm Mind set that's equally, if not more, terrifying. Hell, you could even run a defensive set. I mean, it's not as good as Aromatisse, but it's got a great defensive typing and
solid move pool in stuff like aromatherapy, if I'm not mistaken.
It gets alone. Yes. Yep.
So he can run even more bulk on his team now, which, looking at his team, it really helps him.
Yeah.
Because he already has a shitload of incredibly bulky Pokemon.
Yeah.
And bulky fairy is just very helpful.
Yeah, it gets Calm Mind, Cotton Guard, Sweet Veil, which prevents it from going to sleep. So there's a
Sleep Fodder.
Yeah, Sleep Fodder right there.
Switching. Another one. He has Rotom-Heat, but you know.
Yeah, it gets Screens, Magic Coat, gets Sunny Day.
I mean, yeah.
Toxic Wish, Yawn. It's got a pretty diverse move pool, and obviously with the Orest updates, it also gets access to Drain Punch. So if you really want to run the Belly Drum set, easy peasy coverage.
Yeah, and he doesn't really lose anything because he has Rotom-Heat, which is also a somewhat fast electric type.
Yeah.
Which can be a good Scarfer and has a good secondary stab, which hits ground types on a switch in very hard and probably kills most of them. The only thing I can see him lose is speed, because like I said, his fastest thing is now base 100. But honestly, with that bulk he has, it doesn't matter too much, and he can easily patch that speed up with, of course, Unburden on Slurpuff or Choice Scarf on Rotom, on something odd, on Quiverance Volcarona, of course. So it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. And he has priority as well on Hitmontop and Mew if he wants to.
Technotop, oh my lord.
I mean, it can work.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, Slurpuff is another good one. Then we move on to Ellie, who dropped Zebstrika and War Turtle for Godtoad.
Seismitoad for the unknown.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Seismitoad. This was good and bad. The fact that she didn't have enough money just to drop War Turtle to pick up Seismitoad, I think, is ultimately going to hurt her. Zebstrika plus Seismitoad offered a pretty good easy switch-ins to things that would obviously threaten Seismitoad. Those things being like things like
grass types in general, because Sapsipper.
Exactly. Zebstrika also provided her with a really fast Mon that could Volt Switch on a lot of threats and give her initiative. But
yeah,
War Turtle wasn't doing anything for her team. I think it was a last-minute panic pick, because she already had a reliable Defogger in Togekiss, and Rocks, while annoying, it didn't really hurt her team. You obviously have things like Froslass and Darmanitan, but it's pretty easy to get a Defog off with Togekiss, especially how bulky it is, even if you're running a offensive set.
Exactly. And Seismitoad still helps her a lot, because it's a really bulky one. It can go off in the offense, and it's also Swift Swim if she wants to, versus the Orlando Decabalians, which is helpful because it outspeeds Armaldo, it outspeeds Kabutops, if I'm not mistaken.
Kabutops is base 70?
70, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, so Seismitoad outspeeds that, and can bop it with an Earth Power, Grass Knot, whatever you want.
Yeah, it's base 80.
And 80. Never mind then, I didn't say anything. Gotta get my speed tiers right. Yeah, but still, Seismitoad gives her a water immunity, which is always nice, because you don't want to always get burned with other things.
Yeah,
And electric immunity, that's the most important thing.
exactly.
Because the Striker is not the most reliable one, because it's really frail. And, Seismitoad is bulky.
That's ultimately the reason why she ended up picking up a Seismitoad. She just wanted to get an electric immunity. So now not only is she that much bulkier, but she could pretty much run full stall if she ever wanted to.
Yeah.
God,
that's
gross.
disgusting.
And to think like she can have the opportunity to make it that much better going into the season is just ugh.
Yeah, she can still run very offensive team if she wants to. She can run hyper offense even.
Exactly, and that's honestly terrifying. So Seismitoad is a very good pick. I regret to see Zipstrika leave, but at the same time it's understandable, and I feel that the trade-off between Seismitoad and losing Zipstrika is definitely worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, next up was the Slyro of the Pittsburgh Pyroar. He dropped Jinx to pick up Gourgeist. At this point in time, we don't actually know if we're going to enforce a rule forcing him to pick what form of Gourgeist, but ultimately, Gourgeist is just another wall. Jinx wasn't actually doing all that much for him. It's very fast, can put out a pretty good amount of damage with Life Orb, Ice Beams,
and even Nasty Plot.
Yeah, and stuff like that. Like Lovely Kiss, Nasty Plot, that could be a very, very potent sweeping threat.
And the water immunity wasn't really necessary for him.
Yeah.
He has a good amount of good resistances.
Exactly.
And Quagsire can be muted if he wants to, which, is an option.
Yeah. The fact that it's also extremely frail, and he already had a really, really good ice type in Kyurem, kind of made Jinx redundant on his team. So seeing him pick up Gourgeist is completely understandable. I'm not so sure if I like the fact that his team is so flying type weak.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem.
I
Because
know.
Evi is not reliable resistance at all.
Like in my first week, I think it took 1 SD to take care of it. I know I have the premier flying type Mon, but
Yeah.
you're looking at things like Gyarados. That's kind of spooky, especially if you're running. If Shroomraver is going to be looking to run like sub bounce or something like that. It's definitely something that, while Gourgeist itself is good, I don't know if it's exactly fantastic for his team structure. It'll be something that we're gonna have to see come to light in the coming weeks.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's not a bad pick, but like you said, the flying weakness is still a problem. But he's not the only one in the league. Hi.
You're not super bad.
I have no resistance.
I mean, Landorus checks flying types pretty well.
That's not the point.
You just smack things down. Smack them down in Earthquake.
Shh, move on. Gotta be professional.
True. All right. This one, Pete of Raiquin, excuse me.
Can we not talk about this?
Oh, dude, this one.
Scary.
This is so good. I love this.
Yeah.
Raiquin of the Nottingham's Forest Cursed dropped Galvantula, which is already good, by the way. It's pretty good.
No.
It's okay. All right. All right. He dropped Galvantula for Hippowdon. Can we just establish the fact that Raiquin has Excadrill, and he just got a Sandstream user, and he also has Mega Altaria.
And he has an Hippowdon just in itself. It's one of the best walls in the game, especially in this format, because you can exactly tailor it for something to make it physically or especially offensive or even mixed, and just take hits, whirlwind things out they want to set up, and just hit things hard if you want to.
Oh my god. Like,
it's really disgusting.
I was pretty confident going against Raiquin prior to him dropping Galvantula and picking up Hippowdon. But oh my god, this Sand Rush is gonna be so real.
I have Lando, so I'm not too scared of Excadrill, but his general team is just so scary now. Like, even more scary.
Yeah. He took what was a not bad draft to something that's absolutely excellent.
I mean, Galvantula wasn't really necessary on his team, honestly.
He's got a pretty fucking quick team, so he didn't really
he has Sneasel, Infernape, Excadrill if he wants to, Celebi if he wants to, and Mega Altaria can buff up its speed.
Exactly.
So Galvantula was necessary, and was, from the start I said, it would probably be a regret pick, and he just dropped it and got a Hippowdon, which is one of the best Pokemon in this format, defensively
Yep.
speaking.
Yep.
And it's just, this is definitely the best pick of this transfer window. No doubt in my mind.
I agree completely.
Even though we have Tornadus Therian for Livani, this is just even better.
I mean, on a value basis, Tornadus is way better than Leavanny, but in terms of taking what was a okay draft to making it something that's excellent, then Hippowdon over Galvantula all the way.
Yeah, and he also has Rhyperior, which gets the Spadef boost in Sand. So
No,
it's
no.
really scary.
No!
So you can run a Salt Vest and Sand, and it's just gonna not die to anything ever.
Oh, that makes me so sad. That makes me so sad.
Can I just skip my game with
Oh my lord. Okay, so moving on. We move on to me, head coach of the Miami Rotom-Heat. I dropped Girder and picked up Hariyama.
Which you should have done in the first place. You should not have drafted Girder at all.
Girder was a panic pick. I saw Bishop and I'm like, I need a killer for that, even though I had Keldeo.
And Megalop.
Exactly.
And Klefki.
No, see, with Megalop can't really chew. He can chew one, but I don't really...
check it. It's an easy check.
Yeah. But, like, Keldeo is a switch-in, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aerial
Ye old area. Like, oh man, Shroom would run that, wouldn't he?
Of course. Does a Keldeo run Aerial Ace?
Yeah.
Easy.
Alright. So, I picked up Hariyama. Hariyama is fat. I needed fatness, because I didn't really have switch-ins to things. Base 144 HP is amazing, to say the least. You can slap an Assault Vest on it, you can invest in defense, and it hits hard with base 120 attack. It's got a pretty good move pool. It has enough moves for everything it really needs. It has access to Whirlwind, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it also has 3 really good abilities in Thick Fat, Sheer Force, which is kind of the worst one, but still it's usable.
Yeah.
And Guts, which just allows you to switch into Skulls and stuff and don't fear anything.
Yep, easy peasy.
And yeah, Hariyama is just a really, really good pick for you, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Senpai noticed me. Alright, so the next two, Onesie and Shroom Raver, both they didn't drop anything, didn't drop pick anything up.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, they didn't really. I don't see anything that they could reasonably drop to gain something of better value.
Yeah, I'm facing Alex in, I don't know, soon.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
So his team is really, really good. And there's nothing that he would really need to drop. Maybe Luminion is something that I wouldn't choose. But still, it worked for him so far. So why would he drop it?
He's been doing really, really well.
Yeah, and Shroom's team is also really solid. There's nothing bad on his team either. So nothing that he really would have to drop, in my opinion.
I mean, Houndoom and Dusclops aren't terrible, but they aren't amazing. But at the same time, I don't see anything that he can drop to get something of better value. Shroom Raver also has $4.5 million, which is, after dropping something like Houndoom, allow him to pick something up in Borderline 2 at the very most.
I can't do math. I'm just going to believe you are right.
I can't do math either.
Nice.
But yeah, I feel that they'll tailor their teams in the coming weeks should they need to.
Yeah, and Houndoom can do jobs, so it's not a bad Pokemon. Dusclops is just fat.
Yeah, Dusclops runs the risk of being set up fodder though, so I'll be interested in see how he helps or makes an attempt to mitigate this problem.
I'm pretty sure he can do that. If someone can do it, it's gonna be Shroom.
Yeah. Then we move on to Fredford of the Borussia. Did I say that right?
Borussia Doublade.
I can't say that. I can't do accents. I'm sorry. Like, the best I can do is Jour. And that's only because I listen to you. And even then, I butcher it.
Ethan can speak German. That we learned today.
Yeah.
So yeah, he dropped Golbat and got Mushana.
Mushy.
Which is the German word for pussy. Fun fact. Yeah, Mushana is fat as hell, and he needed something that's fat and reliable. Because Golbat, if it gets knocked off, it's still not frail.
Yeah, but it's nowhere near as good.
Yeah, and Mushana can just take every hit. It's almost impossible to OHKO it.
Yeah.
Especially if you put a Cobble Berry on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think he did in week 3. I'm not sure.
I don't know. We're not technically week 3 doesn't exist yet.
I didn't say anything. But yeah, Mushana, as an NU player, can say it's fat as hell. And
Yeah.
it's annoying. It can do things.
Can we just let's just go over it. So starting off, it's got base 116 HP, 85 defense, and 95 special defense. That is really freaking good bulk.
Yeah.
It also gets access to Baton Pass, Calm Mind, Curse, a plethora of Psychic and Fairy type moves. Easy peasy, Psychic, Psyshock. It gets access to Screens, Magic Coat, Moonlight, Pain Split. It even gets things like Gyro Ball and Rock Slide. Gets T-Wave as well.
Set.
Yeah, right? Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to run Curse, Calm Mind, Stored Power, and Moonlight. Easy peasy win. Again, this gives him a Trick Room option.
Another one, yeah.
And
I mean, he pulled off Trick Room already, but with 3 users, it's just way easier for him and way more reliable.
Exactly. Especially when you've got spooky, scary things such as Dragalge. Cure B even works in...
Mega Mobile.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can even run a really slow Chestnut and Kecleon core.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with Sean. It's an amazing pickup, especially for being NU, or, yeah, NU, I guess, apparently. Yeah, it's good. Straight up.
And then we move on to you, who was at the top of the table at the end of last week.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. You didn't pick anything up, and I actually agree with this. I know that Meganium hasn't really been doing anything for you. So
That's because my first one had 2 fire types, my second one, being you, had Tunnel Flame.
yeah,
And I just think Meganium will help me in the upcoming weeks. I'm not gonna say in which week,
Yeah.
but it will help me.
ambiguous weakage.
And I will probably drop it in the future, but
Yeah,
I won't say when, won't say for what,
exactly.
but it might happen.
So,
So, yeah.
this was the first round of transfers. We'll probably be doing this for every week that actually has a series of transfers. I think there'll be less transfers as the season goes on, just because of lack of funds and team structure.
Yeah, and transfer windows every 2 weeks for people who don't know that.
Okay,
So,
and that clears everything up. I guess this will go up the day after all the battles go up.
we can upload it today. I don't care. We will see. It will go up somewhere.
It's gonna go up
Sometime.
It's gonna go up sometime after April 17th.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so hope you all enjoyed. Thank you to Schady for being my co-analysis-er.
You said
Analyst.
Yeah.
Yeah? Just yeah?
Yeah. Go check out Ethan's channel. He's a hot ginger. And check out my channel because I'm the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring me down.
That works. And we will be looking forward to seeing you on every other thing that shows up on the PPL channel. So yeah.
Yes.
God damn it. Alright. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all very soon.
Leave some nudes.
No!
Goodbye.